Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with your girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for Wednesday night winning, okay? And tonight's topic is positive community policing. And we have someone very, very special here with us on tonight. And let me just tell you a little bit about Officer Tommy Norman. Officer Norman is a longtime patrolman officer who has worked for the North Little Rock Police Department since 1998. Norman has received national attention for his actions concerning the people of his community, most notably his charitable actions toward the youth within his jurisdiction. On October 15, 2021, it was announced that President Joe Biden will be presenting Officer Norman with the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, a highly honorable award given to those who give back to their communities through volunteerism. Officer Norman has gained national and international attention for his unconventional methods of law enforcement. The national and international exposure of Officer Tommy Norman, came from a televised CNN News cable program on May 10, 2015. During an interview on Newsroom with its host, Brooke Baldwin, and her guest, Atlanta activist and rapper Killer Mike. Killer Mike professed that Officer Norman is doing something right. And that is connecting with inner city youth, in particular minority communities of color. He was also featured on the Today Show on November 8th of 2015. This report features some of the day-to-day activities he does within the community and specifically how he is well liked by children. Reporter Carrie Sanders has coined the term social media cop for him. So without further ado, let me introduce to some and present to others the Officer Tommy Norman. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Erica, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for accepting the invitation to be here today. This is going to be a little hard for me because the person who actually set this interview up is no longer with us. So, Officer Norman, if you don't mind, can I just do a little tribute to her so you can see exactly, a little bit about her when she was here on this side of heaven?
Yeah, it's very bittersweet. I would love to see it.
Thank you.
And still standing with you. I love you so much. I hope you feel better. Alan, I love you. Hey, Mom. He said he hated you. Rosalind. Yes, Lord. That's my other sister. Oh, my God. That's my other friend, sister. Lord have mercy. I'm so blessed. Oh, my God. You just don't know. Praise God. Oh, my twin. Hey, my God. Yeah. Oh, Charlotte, I love you. Deborah, I need y'all, too. We all need each other.
Amen.
And Carolyn Prophet, won't he do it? Yes, he will. And yes, he did. Hi, Miss Carolyn. Don't know who you are, but hi.
My friend from Miami.
Is that McNoney? I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Hi. Let's see how maybe says, yes, you do, sis. Yes, you did. I love you so much, Shannon. Mama's not writing me. Where's Mama? Is she sleeping? Is that Bobby? Oh, it's Bobby.
Yes.
Hi, Bobby. I miss you. I want to see you again. Hi, Jerry. Hi.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Hi, cousin. That's so sweet. Oh, I love you, Roz. Oh, and see when you know the people that are writing me. I tell you, it just makes me so happy. I'm trying not to cry because I promised I wouldn't cry, but it just makes me. I just see my village. When I see my village, I haven't seen Charlotte in a while. I just love her. We have the same birthday. That's why we call each other twins. And Inky. So actually, Charlotte, we actually triplets, girl. We got another 10 folks. Me, you, and Inky. Triplets. Look out, world.
Wow. So tribute to Cena. Sleep peacefully, Queen. She was truly, truly an angel on this side of heaven. He got a good one. He's got a good one. So I would like to say, on behalf of Miss Cena, late Cena, Priscina Infantino, she's the one that set up this show, Officer Norman, and I'm just forever grateful that I'm able to share my platform with you, and that you can kind of like shine some brightness on us, because there's so much going on in the world today, and we just want to show each other what good humans really are. So come on, Officer Norman. I think we have him on mute. Can we bring him back in?
Can you hear me, Erica?
I can hear you, but we can't see you.
You said you can't see me?
No.
Oh, well, let's see. It says my camera's on and my mic is on. Let's see.
Okay, well, we're waiting for Officer Norman. What we'll do, we're going to go ahead and just shout out our audience who's already here with us right now. Ma Norma, God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. Dwayne Roberts, God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. And to each and every one of you who's tuning in with us, we truly, truly thank you for tuning in for Winning Wednesday tonight. Positive community policing. So let's see if we could get Officer Norman back in here. Officer Norman, I see your, we can hear you, but your camera is not working. Okay, if you can, Officer Norman, can you like drop out and come back in? I'm so sorry, guys. Can you bear with us? While we're waiting, can we go to commercial, Bia? Thank you. All right. Guys, thank you for being so patient. We do have Officer Norman back in with us. So welcome.
All right. Can you see me now, Erica?
I can.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened, but thank you so much.
You're most welcome. So if you can you just tell the audience a little bit about who is Officer Norman?
So, Officer Norman was born and raised in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Family of nine, 6 sisters and 2 brothers, and gosh, we were all really close knit, close family. We still are, and my mom is still here, thankfully, and she taught everybody in my family, not just my siblings, but nieces and nephews, and all of her grandkids, great grandkids, what it was like to give back and to be there for other people. And when I say other people, people that didn't look like us, didn't live in the same neighborhood that we lived in, people that didn't really maybe have as much as we had. And really my motto in my entire life is just, put others first, put others before me, and to remain humble through it all. And it's gotten me this far in life to where I feel like that I have this platform that other people, I think, are drawn to, and it's been a big blessing.
Wow. That's so awesome to hear about giving back, because again, when you're blessed, you're supposed to be a blessing. And to see that it was instilled in you as a young age, and not just you, your siblings, and even your nieces and nephews, that says a lot about your mom. So we have to shout out Mom. So if you can, go ahead and shout out Mom really quick.
Oh, my mom is everything, not just to me, but so many other people. But I wouldn't be Officer Norman today if it wasn't for my mom. So, Mom, I know you're going to see this. You may be watching now. So thank you so much, and I love you.
Oh my God. It's such a blessing to still have your mom here. I still have my mom. She's 75, be soon to be 76 next month. So it's so awesome to still, have your mom with you and to have a serving heart, Officer Norman, because as you go out about your day and you risk your life every day going out to work, God definitely has the covering over you because of the heart that you have for his people. So tell me one thing about it. What is your gift to the world, Officer Norman?
Give to the world would be my heart. To me, it starts with your heart. And your heart can take you leaps and bounds. My heart has taken me places I never thought I would go.
Please do bear with us. We lost the sound. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the biggest gift that I have for my community and really people across the world is my heart. My heart, I think, is set apart from other people's hearts just because God has given me this energy and this gift and this calling to want to go out and really make a difference in people's lives that I think the community and life and people have forgotten about. And so if it wasn't for my heart, I wouldn't be on here with you today. And if I wasn't raised on learning how you should treat other people with kindness and respect and dignity, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today as a police officer. Not really as a police officer because that will end soon enough, but I'm always going to be a giver.
Wow. That says a lot. At the end of the day, as long outside of your job, like I tell my son, on and off the field, you're still supposed to serve. It's a bigger picture always. And one must always understand that there's always a bigger picture. And if you can give your heart to someone, wholeheartedly and just to serve wholeheartedly, that is an amazing thing, because there's so many hurting people out there, Officer Norman. And in the community that you serve and some of the, content that I saw, I was blown away. So just tell me, how do you start your day every day?
With coffee, and then when I go to work, and I don't really like calling it work because it's more than work for me. But I would do work day shift here, so I have to be at work around 5:45 in the morning. I get to work, and if it's during the school year, I'll go visit bus stops where kids are gathering to wait on the bus. If it's in the summertime, I wait till the kids wake up, and they go into the playgrounds and the boys and girls clubs, and I'm drawn to people. No matter what you look like, no matter where you live, people. And I have to keep feeding my heart. So, in order for us to survive, we need to have food and nutrition, and my heart has to be fed. In order for me to be Tommy Norman, I have to feed my heart. And I've thought about every year, as each year goes by, is God still going to bless me with this huge platform? And I think that as each new year rolls around, that things will maybe let up and slow down, but they don't. And that's how I know that God's not done with me. So the day in the life for me is just going out and meeting new people and then building out the relationships that I've already formed. It's nothing new. It's not rocket science. It's just, to me, it's really easy to go out and care and love for people.
Wow, Officer Norman, that is so amazing. How do you find the time in the day to do so much? Because I'm telling you, I watch your content and amazing. I'm blown away by it. When my Norma and Cena called me and they was like, you have to see this officer. He's doing some great things in the community and things like that. And I'm like, okay, when I went over to watch your content, again, guys, I was just blown away. So before you answer that question, can you just tell us where can we see this content that I'm speaking about?
So my biggest platform is my Facebook public figure page. It's Officer Tommy M. Norman. Instagram is tnorman23. I have a Twitter that's Officer Norman, and then Snapchat is under Mission Give. So, just any of those social media handles that I just gave you, you can watch those. You can expect to laugh, to cry, and you can also expect to have hope and more optimism when it comes to this world, even though I know this world can be a mean, mean world. I really strive to use my platform on social media to allow people to realize that there's still good in this world, and we can all come together and bring peace.
So, Officer Norman, how do you stay so positive in a world such as how it is? What if you encounter someone that's just not having a good day, Officer Norman, and they're trying to give you trouble? Like, how do you stay so positive? Dealing with someone like that.
Well, it takes a lot of patience. I've had patience throughout my entire life, for the most part. I mean, there are days that, maybe I'm not having the best day, but you have to realize as a police officer, you're put in a position to be a leader. You're put in a position to calm situations, and you're put in a position to deal with people that aren't having the best day. That as a police officer, you see the worst in people's life. But on the flip side of that, you can also see the best in people's lives as you help them turn their life around. And so, as far as my energy and where I get that from, I've thought about this for many years, but that has to come from God, because I'll start my day early, and some days they don't end until late, and until the sun is gone down, and it's interacting with so many people in the community. And I come home and lay my head down at night, and I just recap the day and I ask myself, how did you do all this? And it's God. God will instill that energy in me when I need it, but God will also let me know to lay down, rest, stay home, and recharge. So he knows when to put it in me. He knows when to take it out.
And that's one of the things that we have to learn to do, is to listen. Some don't know how to hear from God, but thank God that you know how to hear from God, because your job can be kind of stressful. How do you turn off at night? Because I find it very hard and I'm not doing half of what you're doing. So, but I find it very hard sometimes to just turn off. My mind is just constantly going because I'm such a giver, and I love serving. So how do you turn off at night?
I will. I'm a big sports fan. I love sports. So I'll turn on a baseball game, a football game, a basketball game, and just relax. And that's kind of a way for me to decompress. I used to always bring work home with me and bring things home with me that I dealt with throughout the day. But it comes a time when I have to sit down, spend time with my family. And my family also helps me decompress as well. So, I learned finally that, I'm not going to be an asset to the community here if I'm not taking care of myself and taking care of my body.
Wow, that is so awesome. Guys, we're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, at It Had to Happen for Winning Wednesdays, positive community policing with the Officer Norman. Let me tell you, he has a heart of gold, and I'm not just saying this because he's here. I'm telling you what I see on his all of his content on his pages. Things that he's doing in the community is to me unheard of. I haven't saw much of it, and just to see it, it does my heart. So just warms my heart. So, Officer Norman, just tell me one of your most favorite moments when you were out there serving.
Well, this is a very powerful testimony. It was around 2005, so I've been a police officer for 7 years. There was a gentleman in Little Rock, which is the capital city, and it's right across the river from where I work. He wanted to speak to me, and so he called my police department. I went over. He was at a gas station. He was a homeless man, and I sit down next to him. And he confessed to me that he had murdered someone. He was living in the woods in a homeless camp, and he beat a man to death with a piece of 2x4. And so I call Little Rock police, and they come over and they take him into custody. And as they're walking away with him, I ask him, why did you turn yourself into me? You never even met me before. And he said that he was asking people on the street, how could he turn himself in with dignity and respect without any problems. And someone told him to call Officer Norman. And so he did. And Erica, that testimony still today gives me chills, because my reputation and how I treated people the first 7 years of my career, it solved the murder. there's many more stories out there, but that one right there really stands out. There were other shooting suspects in different crimes that would only turn themselves into me. And I can tell you that the reason that is just how I treated people throughout my entire career and working on my 25th year as a police officer. I started giving when I was 15. So 35 years of giving. And that's all I've ever wanted to do. And so, but it's pretty powerful to know that a man you never met, but he heard your name, he reached out to you to turn himself in, and your reputation can hurt you or it can help you.
That's good. That is so true. That is so true. And like you said, just to know that someone, told this young man, call Officer Norman. He was able to go away, like he said, with no problems. And it's very unfortunate that these things happen. But look, we still have some great humans out there, a lot of them. All this world is not bad. And it's just great to let you know that there are some great people that's still out there and that's doing great things. And Officer Norman, that speaks volume. And happy 25th anniversary in policing. Wow. Okay, so let's ask you, let's jump into this question here. How often do you give yourself permission to enjoy life?
More, I experienced some pretty serious setbacks in life, and those are the reasons why that I have decided to put myself first. I don't do it 100% of the time, but I do it more than I did. November 17th of this year will be 1 year since my daughter Alyssa passed away at 26 years old. And around 6 months ago, I suffered a massive heart attack. I think those were signs for me, whether or not they were from God, but that was time for me to slow down, spend more time at home. Can I spend more time at home and still be involved in the community? Absolutely. I just had to do a better job of time management. But it's right now, me being at home with my family or me being at home just decompressing by myself is more of a priority. But before my daughter passed away, Erica, she would tell me, Dad, you should rest. I was falling asleep at red lights. I was falling asleep in the drive-through of a bank. I was so exhausted because I just did not want to slow down. But I realized that the exhaustion I was dealing with, I was not doing the community any good. And so with that being said, I'm still learning because no was never really in my vocabulary, but it's starting to enter into my vocabulary. When I say that, I mean a speaking engagement. I don't travel out of town quite as much, only because I realize now that life is just so short. Life is so fragile and precious, and tomorrow's not promised. So I want to be there for my family more and still be there for my community.
And it's very unfortunate. First of all, my condolences to you about your daughter. And thank God that he saw fit for you to still be here after your heart attack. I told y'all that this is going to be a little hard. Because that's what my sissy Cena passed away from. And but thank God that you're still here to serve the community, to serve the people. God definitely had a plan for you. He definitely had a plan for you. And I want you to speak to someone who's always on the go, who's everything to everybody else, but always denying themselves, kind of like not doing self-care. So can you speak to anyone that's under the sound of your voice that may be just going, and not really taking some me time?
Absolutely, I can. Burnout is real. And when you run into this brick wall that I ran into, so to speak, and you're just, my passion is neighborhoods and communities and inner city areas and kids and impoverished areas. That's my gift. That's what I want to be a part of every day because I know I can change those lives. But, it's like I ran into a brick wall. It was like after Alyssa passed away and before my heart attack, I was drained. The dream that I've always had to go out and be a public servant, that ability was starting to diminish, only because I just didn't have the energy. I was just so tired. I would come home from work at 2 p.m. and just take the longest nap. And, where now I come home from work and try to avoid that nap and go out and at least walk for 30 minutes or an hour. And so, for anyone out there that's watching this, if you're not slowing down, if you're just so exhausted and burnt out, please consider taking a break, staying home, resting. It's really worked for me. You've got to take care of your body before anything else, and your mind. Mental illness, depression, anxiety, those are things after my daughter passed away that I never thought would happen to me, but the grief will do it to you. And so I hope that helps, Erica.
Well, you're speaking kind of to me too, Officer Norman. So, and just to hear you say those 30-minute walks, I had someone to tell me that a while ago. And, here in Atlanta, you have all of these hills, Officer Norman. And it's like, okay, 30-minute walks. Can I find somewhere flat? I just had to throw that in there and kind of laugh, because I'm telling you, so much is going on. And just you spoke about just the grief itself. To see that you're able to just move, not really move on, but carry on. How can I say this? To know that you're able to still move forward with the things that you're doing, and you don't question God as to why did this happen? Did you ever have one of those moments?
I did. I did have a moment that I asked, why did this happen? I feel like God wanted to slow me down. He had sent me these warning signs, but I just ignored God. I didn't listen to Him. But I know one of the biggest reasons that God spared me is that my work here is not done, and He knew it wasn't done. And I can tell you this, Erica, that there is one person besides God that saved my life, and that was Alyssa. Alyssa knew that her dad loved the community. Alyssa knew how much her dad loved volunteering and just getting out and being involved. And I think she was a big part of saving my life, because there's so much more for me to do. I'm not done changing the world.
Mm-hmm. And speaking, hearing all that you do with serving, my sissy Sina would have been a great. I wish she got a chance to meet you, Officer Norman, because she was one. And I'm not just saying this because I'm saying she was an angel on this side of heaven. Like, she served so much, Officer Norman. We have a nonprofit called 88 Blessings, and she was the volunteer coordinator. And she just loved serving. Even at her service, her memorial service on last Saturday, someone said that she will always want to get people together. She just was a people person. And I wish, but you'll get to meet her again. We all get to meet her again. But I must say, she was truly, she was a real gem. She was a real gem. And I wish she got a chance to meet you. And again, to be able to serve while you're hurting, Officer Norman. Like, I know for me, that's the best time for me to serve is when I'm hurting or when I'm going through. What would you say about that?
Serving to me is a privilege. I mean, and it's a privilege that I do not take for granted. Not everyone gets to serve. God doesn't put everyone in this position. And so to be able to go out, whether it's in uniform, out of uniform, whether it's while I'm working or on my day off, I know how to serve. I have 35 years of experience of serving. Started when I was a teenager. Erica, my mom would drop me off at places to paint houses, to visit nursing homes. I wasn't even old enough to drive. She would drop me off and I would call her and she would pick me up. My mom knew that I needed to get out and help people. She knew what it took to feed my heart and my soul. And so people out there that want to serve, serving is not hard. You can make some sandwiches and go out and feed the homeless. You can call and check on someone, your elderly neighbor. You can volunteer at the local soup kitchen. So that's serving, right? I don't care if you're serving one person or 100 people, you're a public servant. You don't have to be a police officer to be a public servant. You don't have to be a politician to be a public servant. As long as you have a heart that beats, you can get out and serve.
So true. And I, like you said, everybody don't, it's definitely a privilege. It is definitely a privilege. And I pray to God that I don't ever take it for granted, because some of us do, when you have that opportunity to just, I don't care. You think you want to, so many people want to touch many lives, and that's great, but God says, if you've done one, you've done enough, so like you say, call someone. Serving, it could be on any measure, like you say, you don't have to be a police officer to serve. Cena actually had, excuse me for keep bringing up her name, but Cena, she was one to have her kids to serve alongside her. She didn't just show up to serve by herself, and a couple of the ladies inside of 88 Blessings brought their kids as well to serve. So I'm telling you, I just love to serve others, especially the Bible says, it's good. I'm not verbatim, but you can do and pray for anybody that's good to you, right? But what about those that misuse you or mistreat you or hurt you? How do you find it in your heart if you're not one that's in tune with God first, and then two, you got to kind of like put yourself in other people's shoes, right, Officer Norman? Because it could very well, like you say, at the homeless shelter, it could very well be any of us. It once was me. But God saw fit for me to get through that. And that was one of my its. So many of us, Officer Norman, have so many its that transpire in our lives, and we can't let it stop us. Your its that happen to you, they happen to you for you to share with others. Because what happened if those its didn't happen? You probably wouldn't have the heart that you have today to serve and give like you do.
You're right. And, if I would have kept ignoring the pain in my chest and my left arm, you talk about, what would have happened if you ignored certain things. My cardiologist told me that, that maybe I wouldn't have woke up the next morning. And so I finally said, okay, I need to go to the emergency room. And, so many things, ignoring so many different signs. So listen to God. It's very important that people listen to God. If you feel like God is speaking to you, don't ignore him. I made that mistake.
Even with your physical, even with your spiritual being, if he's speaking to you and you're not being obedient, that says obedience is better than the sacrifice, so he talks to you in many different forms. He don't physically come and say what he needs to say to you. Things happen, or he speak to people, and sometimes we don't like listening to whoever delivers the message. Officer Norman, have you ever had that to happen with the person that's delivering the message? You just don't really want to hear it.
Right? Pride can get in your way. Stubbornness can get in the way. And you just don't want to accept what someone is telling you. Not to say that maybe later that day or the next day you stop and think, okay, maybe that person was right. But, I'm open to, obviously very open-minded when it comes to God. And a lot of people reached out to me when Alyssa passed away, when I had my heart attack, and it was overwhelming, really. Eventually it was, only because people care. The text messages I was receiving and the emails and the phone calls, and some advice was good, some advice I felt like it wasn't, but the bottom line is that people cared enough to reach out.
Right. Okay, Officer Norman, we're going to go ahead and go into some of the comments. But before we do, I just want to ask you this question. What have been the most defining moments that have helped you shape your life? Which, I think you gave me two. So if you have another, can you share that with us?
of my children being born. I had three kids: Alyssa, my daughter Jamaica, my daughter, and my son Mitchell. You know, obviously, definitely defining moments in life. Becoming a police officer in 1998. I never thought I could do it. I never thought that I had what it took to be a police officer. That was definitely a defining moment. And when I was a teenager and I finally knew what my calling was going to be, God let me know early in life. That was a defining moment because at 15, I didn't think there would ever be an officer, Norman. Obviously, at 15, you're not really sure what you're going to be, but you have an idea.
Yeah.
But and even in 1998, when I became a police officer, if you would have told me that 25 years later, 20 years later at that I would have the whole world watching what I'm doing, there's just no way I would have even believed you because I wasn't expecting that. I can tell you that when Mike Brown was killed in Ferguson, Missouri in 2014, that's when my social media started to explode. People would come to my page looking for positive policing and the way they felt like policing should be. Now, let me make this clear, Erica, that there are great police officers all over the world doing great things. But I do feel like at the time when people were so frustrated at police officers and you had the riots and the protests, I do feel like that God pulled me to the side and he said, hey, you're getting ready to be the face and the voice of how policing should be done. And that made me nervous. I remember my mom and told my mom that, hey, this is a lot. I was getting invitations to speak outside of Arkansas, from Long Beach to LA to Charlotte to Dallas to Orlando to Louisiana, and the list goes on and on and on. But your heart will take you to those places. Your heart will take you everywhere as long as you just stop and let your heart lead you. And so it's definitely a powerful story. I've been giving, Erica, way before Facebook was even thought of. I've been giving way before Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and TikTok, way before those were even thought of. I mean, I can show you pictures when I had hair and I was a baby face and I didn't have anything to post on social media because there wasn't social media. But social media has gained me a lot of attention in the right way.
And to hear you say, Officer Norman, you knew your calling at a young age. I have to be honest with you, Officer Norman. I didn't know my calling until I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I knew that I had a heart for the people. I did know that, but I didn't know that everything that I had experienced was actually birthing me for my purpose then. And that's our motto here at It Had to Happen: my journey, my pain, my purpose. And a lot of times it's that birthed our purpose. When we're going through those Officer Norman, they don't feel so good. And we probably sometimes don't see a way out. But I never questioned Jesus when I was going through everything that I had to go through. So if there was a time that you can think of when you knew that you had no other person to turn to but God, can you share that moment with us?
I think when I was at the police academy in Camden, Arkansas in 1998, about midway through, one night after training was over, I left because I was homesick and I wanted to find another job that didn't require me to have to leave to go out of town to train. And, driving back home. And although I did call my mom and have a talk with her, Erica, God spoke to me and told me, hey, you wanted to be a police officer so bad. You wanted to make your family proud. And especially my uncle Don Wooten. He's not here anymore, but he was the chief of police of a town in Arkansas called Hot Springs Village. And I wanted to make him proud. And halfway back home, I stopped and I prayed and my mom prayed. And I turned around and went back to the police academy, and so happy that I did, because now with my platform as a police officer, it definitely has been well worth it.
Well, Officer Norman, I am glad that you did. With all the lives that you're touching, you're so needed. You're so needed, and God know that. And that's why, he knew you had so much more work to do, so many more lives to touch. And I'm telling you, you're doing such a phenomenal job. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for serving in all that you do. So, Officer Norman, we cannot do this without our audience. So, what we like to do here at It Had to Happen, we'll put the comments on the screen and you could go ahead and greet your guests.
All right. Yeah, there's some comments coming in.
Can you
Uh,
see?
I want to say thank you, first of all, to Erica. Erica and I, we finally connected, and then we finally worked out, a day. And I was excited. I shared this today, and I love sharing my story. There's much more to my story. I mean, we would take us 3 or 4 or 5 hours to tell you everything. But, for everyone out there that's watching, thanks for supporting Erica. Thanks for supporting me. And thanks for allowing me to tell my story. And I just want to say this, that I was never the smartest or the brightest growing up, but I always had a heart. And God's blessed me. God's blessed me with this path, and this connection with people. I can connect with anyone. And it's so cool to be able to share what I do. Pretty much everything you see on my social media is what you get with me. It's raw, it's genuine, it's humbleness, and we just thank you so much for everyone out there watching for continuing year after year after year to support what's going on here in Arkansas.
Yes. Okay. So what I'll do, because Officer Norm, I'm going to read you some of the comments because you have so much love in the comment section here. So let's go, Bia. We have good afternoon. Hey, Ma, that's Cena's mother.
Good afternoon.
We have Dwayne Roberts all the way from Miami. Hello, Dwayne. We have Dwayne Roberts again. Trust the process. Ma Norma again. She says Cena was so excited to talk with you, Officer Norman.
I'm going to meet her again one day.
Shannon from Jacksonville says, blessed day, everyone. Kimberly Harris, she's here in Atlanta. My sissy, hello, everyone. Shannon again, love watching his videos.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Vernon Morgan in Atlanta, he say, hey, sis, and everyone that is watching. God bless you, bro. Keely, all the way from Jacksonville, she says, Officer Norman, we love you. How you take care of all the All-Star crew.
Yes,
Okay, tell us about the All-Star crew, because I think I kind of missed that.
I don't see how, Erica. The whole world knows who the All-Star crew is. The All-Star crew is siblings. They're all adults. They are special needs, but they are absolutely amazing. We go to McDonald's, we go to the park, we go to wrestling matches, we go get ice cream, we go to the movies. I take Tina. She's the only woman in the family to get her hair done. I take the guys to get their haircuts. It's these are people that absolutely are precious. They're adorable, and the whole world is just falling in love with them. So it's Tina, Larry, Arthur Lee, Aaron, and then their brother Kane, who looks out for them.
I think I remember hearing Ma Norma and Cena. We talked about that. I just didn't know the name, but I do know exactly who you're speaking about. And it was one guy that touched me. He came out the building. I think he was going to work early, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Davey. You're talking about Davey. There's so
Yeah.
Davey's amazing.
He looks like he is full of energy and he just loves you. He got so excited coming out that building. It's amazing. Okay, so tell me this. What kinds of good and beautiful things are you experiencing in this moment?
Sharing my story with you and having people all across the world watching. I hope that when we end this conversation, Erica, that when people lay their head down tonight and they end their day, that they remember what you talked about and what I talked about, and to know that anyone out there can go out and make a difference. Anyone. You know, I love Michael Jordan. Still to this day, I want to meet the guy. And when I realized that I wasn't going to be the next Michael Jordan on the basketball court, obviously nobody can compare to him. I wanted to be the next Michael Jordan of my community, and I've strived. You know, it's watching his games, and he just really inspired me. It was at an age in my life when I was looking for, I guess, someone an inspiration, and other than my mom and my family, but Michael Jordan he just drew me in, and loved everything about him. And so, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out here because Michael Jordan is very competitive. He didn't like losing, and I want to go out and be a winner in my community. And I think I've done that for the most part pretty well. As I said, and a lot to do with him because he really inspired me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Officer Norman, if you ever get a chance to meet him, ask him, why do he keep charging us all of that money for the same shoe that comes out in different colors every year almost?
I would say, Erica, if you looked at my closet right now or in my sock drawer or in my shoe collection, the Jordan brands received a little bit of my money. So I'm guilty of that.
I think I am too, Officer. Oh my God. But hey, I think that he's the shoes, I mean, every other year, maybe a different color, same style. But my favorite one, Officer
I think
Norman,
every other year. I think
What's your favorite?
every other 3 or 4 months.
So I like the Jordan ones. Which is your favorite?
I like the Jordan 11s. And don't get me to talking about the Jordan 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. I don't know all about those, but I do have some Jordan 11s. So
The funny part about it is the only reason I know is because of my sons. That's the only reason I know, because I don't know the numbers either.
exactly.
But, it was so such an honor to sit here with you today and share share God's platform with you, first of all, because I'm just a visionary here at It Had to Happen. Like you said, that your story can go on and on and on. And we always like to offer any featured guest open platform. Anytime you think you want to come back and share more, you're more than welcome. So what I want you to do now, we may have someone that's under the sound of your voice that may be in a grieving process right now. Can you just give them a couple of pointers?
Absolutely, I can. For anyone out there that is grieving, trust your faith in God. What really helped me was my faith. If it wasn't for my faith, I don't know that I would be here today, Erica. And then lean on your family, lean on your friends. And in my case, I leaned on my community as well. But there's a reason that people that are grieving, there's a reason that you're still here. In my case with Alyssa, she didn't want me to be sad. She wouldn't want her dad to be sad. She'd want me to be happy. She'd want me to smile and laugh. And so, for anyone out there grieving, don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Thank you so much, Officer Norman. So I know that my Norma is on here. She's like my second mom, my bonus mom. I tried to get her to come on, but she's just camera shy. So can you, for me, please do just say a little something to her?
What's her name again?
My Norma.
Norma. So it's Officer Norman. I think you may have been the one that, I don't know if you're the one that were trying to tell me how to use the camera, but anyway, maybe not. But God bless you. I love you, and it's okay. I used to be camera shy as well, but I kind of worked my way out of that. But thank you for what you do. Thank you for supporting Erica is to just know that you're a blessing as well. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of today's show.
You're most welcome. All right. So here it is. We're at the end of our show. And I do have one other question. And you kind of answered that already, Officer Norman. I guess we're in tune because you covered most of my questions that I had today in the earlier part of the segment. But I'm just going to ask you this question, anywho, because I had it for you. And it is, what kinds of reoccurring situations or people do you attract?
I think that situations that need hope, situations that need someone to be a voice for them, someone to stand for them. And I think people that reoccur in my life are people that society forgets about. So people that can't talk, in Davy's case, people that can't walk, people that maybe were born with no arms, people that can't see, people that can't hear. Those are the people that I want to become best friends with in life more than anyone else, because those are people that society forgets about, makes fun of. And we can't do that. We have to be there for people that God wants us to love.
That's so true because they're his people too. That is so awesome, awesome, Officer Norman. And I'm definitely going to be keeping you lifted up in prayer because you're doing so much in the community. And it's just so awesome. I'm telling you, I can't say it enough. And thank you for your service. I truly do thank you for your services because a lot of times people, do fall up under the radar and they don't get the help that they need. They don't even get a hello, Officer Norman. They don't even get someone to smile at them, more or less than look at them. So you're a voice for them all, and I just thank you so much for that. So if you can, we like to always leave the audience with something. So if there's anything that you would like to leave the audience with on today.
Um, Remain humble. Don't ever, as my mom would say, don't ever get too big for your britches. Don't ever think that you're bigger than life. Always be there for people. As Erica said, a hello, a hug. I mean, I hug so many people a day. I say hello, I shake hands, I'll call and check on people. It's kindness will prevail. Hate will never win. And so just, be there for your neighbor, be there for your friends. Um, it's not that this world wants us, but this world needs us. It needs kind people. It needs people that are just so full of joy and just being nice to people, whether you're walking through the local grocery store or you're just out working. Just make it a point to just be there for somebody else.
Ooh, so true. Oh God. Officer Norma, it was such a pleasure having you here today. And again, tell us about, I don't want to leave right now. I'm going to do the whole hour here because I know there's so much that you're doing and getting ready to do in the community. So I need you to tell the people how one can get in touch with you. Maybe they want to pour into your organization or bless some of the people that you take care of. It takes a village, right? It takes a village. So if you can have one to donate some things to you to help the community that you're in, tell us how we can do so.
So I have a P.O. box. It's P.O. Box 1098, and that's North Little Rock, three separate words, Arkansas, which is AR 72115. And some of the things that help are like gift cards to McDonald's, to places like that. I take the All-Star Crew, the Breakfast Club. We go to Cracker Barrel here in North Little Rock, and just anything, candy, snacks, anything I can pass out in the community. Anything's a blessing.
Okay. And can you tell us all of your social media platforms again?
So sure will. So Facebook is Officer Tommy M. Norman, and that's a verified page. Instagram is T Norman 23, which is also verified. The 23 is because of Michael Jordan. And that's actually Davies at my door. We just got through talking about him. Riley, can you open the door with a key? So Davey rides his bike to my house. This would be a treat for everyone before we hang up. But Davy was born with meningitis, and that took his speech. Davy is an angel. I really, really think Davy's an angel, and he rides his bike. It's 3 miles one way, so it's 6 miles altogether. And he'll bring me gifts. He writes on sheets of paper. He just tries to write his name on sheets of paper. And this is pretty amazing that we get to end this with Davy here. And I'll let you say hi to him. So.
Oh my.
So Davey can't talk, but you can see he's very, 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 very happy. So anyway, yeah, that's him right there. That's
Wow.
so that's pretty cool that he came in right at the end. There's no better timing than that. Davey is always on time. Always on time. So
You know what, Officer Norman, I have a new level of respect for you. You allow them to come to your home.
that not many police officers would do that, but Davey is more than a community member. Davey's one of my best friends, and so but yeah, I mean, he'll bring stuff and writes on sheets of paper. He'll go to the dollar store and he'll bring my dog food, and he'll bring me snacks. So anyway, he's amazing. So yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is at Officer Norman, and Mission Give is the name of my Snapchat. So anyway, so yes, so thank you so much. I can't wait for you to finish this and give me the link at some point, because people that weren't able to watch it, I think they'll love it. So I really.
Thank you so much for even wanting to share it, Officer Norman. The link that I sent you inside of your instructions, that's the same link that you can share with them, and I don't want to leave without you telling us about, because I see that you're newlywed.
Yeah, so this is my stepson, Riley. Riley is 10 years old, and I've been married to his mom. Was 3 years, July the 6th. And so we met and we started dating in around 2012, 2013. And then we got married in 2019. And that's been a blessing. She's a big supporter of what I do. She knew when she met me how involved I was in the community, and she's been nothing but a very, very big advocate. And she knows that my heart, a big part of my heart is in the community. And so we actually met at Walgreens, Erica.
Wow.
The love of their life. When we end this interview, go to Walgreens and walk around.
So to all the single people out there, you better get over to Walgreens. Officer Norman found a beautiful. Yeah. Are you gonna throw me a kiss? Can you throw me a kiss? Officer Norman, I would love to have you come back anytime at your leisure. Please do let me know when you'll like to come back to finish this interview, because like you said, you could go on, and I'm sure you're getting ready to do some great things that you have been doing before, and it's just getting ready to add on. And I just thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule, getting here on It Had to Happen, and share your story with us and letting us see some light. You are the salt of the world. We are the salt of the world. So we have to make sure that we're doing good by people. And that's definitely what you're doing. So I want to say congratulations on your marriage. And maybe I got next. Maybe, I don't know, Officer Norman. My Norma grandkids, which is seeing a daughter and a son, they say I can't date. So I don't know. But I think I'm going to head over to Walgreens. How about that?
You'll know when the time is right. You will know.
Right. Thank you so much. And Shannon from Jacksonville, she says her birthday is July 6th. So is that your wedding anniversary?
Date, yeah, wedding anniversary, July the 6th. So, wow, that is so cool. That is so cool.
That is. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in contact with you because 88 Blessings want to donate to your cause. And again, like I said, it do take a village. So if anyone that would like to donate to Officer Norman's charity, please do tell us one more time.
It's a P.O. Box 1098. That's P.O. Box 1098, North Little Rock, Arkansas 72115.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here with us. That it had to happen for Wednesdays, positive community policing. Also, Norman, we do not like to leave this broadcast without sending the people some virtual hugs. We hug them really tight here and some virtual love, guys, because we love, love, love you here. And it had to happen. We cannot do this without you, and you. Please do share this broadcast. And if it has blessed you, be a blessing and bless someone by sharing this broadcast. Until next time, guys, please do be safe. God bless each and every one of you. Bye bye.
Erica's empowering empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It had to happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.